Well, hey, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. My name's Elena. I'm going to be your nurse
Hey,
practitioner.
Elena.
Yeah, I know it's
Kyle.
our Kyle. All right, I know it's our first time meeting. So I'm just going to ask you a couple questions today, okay?
All right.
All right. I want you to. Can you state your initials for me?
KWL.
All right. What's your primary language that you speak?
English.
All right. What's your age and your date of birth?
I am 37, August 7th, 1984.
Okay.
That's my date of birth.
What gender do you identify as?
Male,
All right. What about your race?
white, Caucasian.
Okay. Where were you born?
Columbia, South Carolina.
Okay. What's your marital status right now?
Single.
Okay. Have you been married before or anything?
I was, yes.
Okay. Alrighty. What would you say your ethnic background, cultural origin is?
Um, Caucasian? I really don't know how to
Okay,
answer that question.
that's all right. That's all right. What's your highest level of education that you've completed?
Some college.
Okay. And what do you do for a job? What's your occupation?
I'm a landscape foreman.
Alrighty. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's not a bad gig.
Yeah, good, good. Do you have health insurance?
I do.
Yeah, what kind? Do you know?
I'm on the bronze plan through Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Okay, very good. So Kyle, what brings you in today?
I've been having a pain in my lower right abdomen, and it's I thought it would go away on its own, but it's just kind of lingering. So
Kind of been a little persistent.
yeah, I wanted to have a professional opinion.
I gotcha. Is there anything that brings it on? Anything that makes it better or makes it worse?
No, it's pretty constant. When I'm laying down, it seems to get somewhat better, but when I notice when I'm sitting, if I sit upright, it actually gets more intense.
Yeah. Okay. So you said location right lower quadrant. Is it more of a burning pain, stabbing, aching? Do you think you can like tell me the character of it?
It's more dull than anything. It's not really
Okay.
sharp. No burning. Just it's just kind of I just know it's there. It's
There.
just uncomfortable.
Okay. Does the pain radiate anywhere? Or does it kind of stay localized in that area?
It's pretty localized.
Okay, I gotcha. So on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the least and 10 being the worst, how would you rate it?
4 to 5.
Okay, so it's pretty constant there, pretty
It's pretty
high
constant.
level.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's not excruciating, but it's not comfortable either. It's
understood.
midway.
Understood. Does it come at a certain type of the day, or is it there all the time?
It's pretty much there all the time.
Okay, all right. So it doesn't, come and go for an hour. It's pretty much always there. Alrighty. Can you think of anything that it may be? Does this mean anything to you, or
Off the top of my head, no. I know when it first started, I thought it might be, upset stomach or maybe gas or something like that. But it's been over a week now. It's a little concerning.
I got you. Okay, okay. Well, I think I've got enough information about that. I'm just going to ask you a little bit of background questions. Is that
Okay.
okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, very cool. Just tell me about a little bit of your medical history. Have you had any like major illnesses in your lifetime? Any disabilities? Any injuries? Hospitalizations?
No, I mean nothing. My major might be completely different from major for you. I did have microplasmic pneumonia when I was younger,
Okay,
um, but I was hospitalized for a couple hours,
okay,
so it wasn't super major.
okay. So under childhood illnesses, all right. So we got the microplasmic pneumonia. Anything else that you had when you were younger? Maybe
Mm,
rubella, chickenpox, strep
I did have
throat.
chickenpox.
Chickenpox?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, when I was in kindergarten.
Okay. What about your surgical history? Have you had any surgeries on your bone or joints, organs, anything?
Nope.
No? Okay. Tell me about your immunizations, both as a child and current.
I mean, I got all the standard immunizations in school, flu shots, measles. I can't name all of them,
Oh, of
but
course, that's fine.
I've gotten
That's
all of
fine.
them. So
Have you traveled out of the country that you've had to have any, like, sometimes you have to have a hepatitis B if you travel out of the country. Have you had anything like that before?
mm-mm,
Okay. Okay, cool.
I have not.
What about any psychiatric history, depression, anxiety, anything you can think of?
No, no. I
Alrighty.
think that's pretty good.
Okay. Do you have any allergies, food, medications, anything you can think of?
Um, I mean, I'm allergic to pollen, but I mean, no food allergies,
Okay, so like
nothing major. Just
seasonal
yeah,
allergies.
seasonal allergies. Yeah,
Okay, I think a lot of people do. So
I
yeah,
think so too.
yeah. Do you take any medicines, both prescription or over the counter?
I don't.
Do you take any herbal remedies or anything?
I do. I take a green. I call it a green drink, but it's just stuff that you would take that you never would eat. Like
Like vitamins and stuff?
yeah.
Okay,
It's
okay,
just it's a nutrient packed sort of drink.
okay. Is that like a daily thing for you?
Usually,
Okay, alrighty. When was your last exam? Like health physical, eye exam, dental exam that you can remember?
um, dental exam was at 31. That was just a typical cleaning. I think they
Hmm.
actually did take X-rays. My last physical late 20s,
Okay,
so it's
cool.
been a little while.
And that was normal.
Yeah,
Nothing out of the blue,
everything
out of
was
the
normal.
normal there. Okay, very good. I'm going to ask you a little bit about your family history, if that's okay.
Sure.
Any history you can think of with your parents or grandparents? Like you can maybe start with your parents first.
Um, my mom had ovarian cancer after the birth of my younger brother.
Okay.
But she has had that taken. She's gotten that taken care of, so
Okay.
she's
Good.
okay now.
Good.
My dad, no, he's been fortunately pretty healthy his whole life. My grandfather on my mom's side passed away from liver cancer, but he was diabetic as well.
Okay.
So
All right.
um,
Anything with your? Do you have any siblings that may have any issues, or are they healthy?
my brother had a hernia, but
Okay.
other than that,
Okay.
that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds good.
Okay.
Um, a couple more generalized questions. Were you born in the U.S.?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Are what would you go by for like religious or spiritual?
We're Catholic.
Catholic. All right. How do you feel about your health? Like, what's your own perception of your health?
I feel pretty good. I'm a social smoker.
Yeah. Okay.
I do consume alcohol, but I mean, my job kind of it kind of keeps me moving, active.
Keeps you pretty healthy.
Yeah, it keeps me
Okay.
active. I don't drink soda or sweet tea or any of the things that are really bad for you.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I feel pretty good about overall.
Good. 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 What about your nutritional patterns in general? Have you had any appetite changes recently?
Not that I can think of.
No. Okay. Any weight gain or weight loss?
Mm-mm.
No. What are your, I guess, eating patterns like? Do you eat like multiple small meals a day, or?
Um, so I rarely eat breakfast. I usually will have a cup of coffee and then start my day, and drink water throughout the day. Sometimes I'll have a light medium lunch, and then dinner is usually the biggest meal.
Big dinner?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. What about your elimination, bowel and bladder? Is all of that pretty regular for you?
Yeah, seems pretty regular. I know, some things I'll eat that will, kind of mess with me a little bit.
Yeah.
I might have diarrhea after eating pizza or something like that
I think.
with a lot of spices.
Yeah.
I feel
I
like that's
think
a
that's
pretty common.
relatively common
Yeah, yeah,
common thing.
same.
I'd have to agree there.
Yep.
So tell me about your living environment. Like, where do you live, in the city or in the country, or what type of like house do you live in?
Single family home, in the city.
Okay. Do you know of any like environmental toxins that you may be exposed to at your house?
None that I can think of.
Okay, good. What about work? Any like occupational hazards that you may be exposed to while you're working at your job?
None that I can think of. I mean, I think with any job you have certain hazards, but I can't think of anything specific.
Okay,
So,
cool. Very good. What about with your like activities of daily living with like dressing, bathing, cooking your meal? Can you do that by yourself or do you need somebody to help you or do you need like assistive devices or anything?
mm-mm.
Okay.
It's always fun to cook with somebody, but I mean,
I mean,
I don't need them there.
that's true. That's true. So for interpersonal relationships, how would you say with friends and family your relationships are?
Pretty good,
Pretty good.
actually. Yeah, I'm very
Good.
close with family, so that's
Okay. So that brings me to my next question. The relationships with, roles in family relationships. Like, how would you say your family is comprised, I guess?
I think decisions are made collectively. There's no one person
Okay.
who
So
makes decisions.
you'd say you're pretty close with them
Hmm.
then? Okay. Very good. What about how's your memory, your judgment, and your speech, all of your senses? Any issues there?
They all seem tip top.
Pretty good? Okay.
Hmm.
Good, good. Tell me about your sleep. Is it good? How many hours do you get per night? About.
Sleep's usually pretty good. Anywhere between 6 to 8 hours a night.
Okay. Do you have to take anything to help you sleep, or can you get to sleep pretty easily?
No, it's usually pretty easy, actually.
That's good. That's very good.
Hmm.
Lucky.
Yeah,
Lucky. Yeah. What about your exercise? Do you exercise often, or what type of exercise do you get?
I play golf, which I'm not really an exercise, but it keeps me moving. Walk a lot doing that. Work is also pretty labor intensive, so
Hmm.
um, I was going to the gym, but it I don't have time for it right now. So
Yeah. Sounds like a busy, life,
mhm.
home life, work life, and everything. It's understandable. So, I know you mentioned golf as like a hobby. Do you do anything else for leisure besides golf?
Yeah, hang out with friends. We do I guess the normal stuff, bowling.
Yeah.
Um,
Good weekend.
yeah, yeah, go to the river. Maybe some swimming and some tubing here and there, but.
Okay. Yeah, sounds fun. I know summer's coming up, so I'm
Yeah,
sure you'll be
yeah.
excited for
Oh
all
yeah,
that.
for sure.
Yeah, good. So, I know you mentioned alcohol and tobacco. So, about how many cigarettes would you say you smoke per day?
On a weekday when I'm not out and about, probably 5
Okay.
per day.
Alrighty. What about alcohol? So, how much would you say you drink, during the week versus during the weekends?
Maybe 3 glasses of wine on a weekday night.
Okay.
The weekends vary. Sometimes I'll drink much more than that. Sometimes I won't drink much more than that.
Okay.
Kind of
So, like
depends on the,
socially, kind of.
yeah.
Okay. Understod. What about any illicit street drugs or anything?
None. I do smoke marijuana maybe once or twice a week.
Okay. Alrighty. Any intimate partner violence? I know you said you were single, so
Mhm.
I can kind of assume no intimate partner violence this time.
No, not at this time.
Good, good, good. Always good to hear.
Oh yeah.
Um, so like how do you think you cope with stress? Do you have any stressors right now in your life? Any major stressors that you've had over the last couple of years that you can think of?
I think work is probably my biggest stressor,
Okay,
and I don't think I have any unhealthy coping mechanisms.
good.
Alcohol, possibly, but I mean, who doesn't like a couple glasses of wine with dinner? So,
Right, right, right.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, trying to think. Are you sexually active right
Yes.
now? Okay. Do you monogamous, polyamorous? Do you have like multiple partners or just one?
Monogamous.
Okay. All right. Can I ask your gender preference if you don't mind?
I prefer female.
Okay. Very good. Well, thank you for letting me ask those
Yeah,
questions.
absolutely.
So next, I'm just going to kind of go through like a head to toe assessment and kind of ask, see if you've had any symptoms that either of us can think of.
All
Okay.
right.
Have you had any changes in your weight recently? Weight gain, weight loss?
I have not.
No, good. Any weakness or fatigue that you've noticed?
Mm-mm.
Oh, good. If you think about your skin, I know you're in the sun a lot between work and golf. Have you noticed any, like, dry patches, itching, redness, soreness, anything like that?
None that I can think
Mm,
of.
okay, good. Um, any think about headaches? Have you had any recent headaches? Do you have any dizziness or vertigo?
A while back, I did actually go through a spell of my mom used to have a touch of vertigo, and
Mm-hmm.
she explained to me how it felt, and I thought that I might have a touch too. I would bend over to do something, and it didn't happen every time. I would get back up, and I would just kind of be dizzy.
Okay.
Um, But my chiropractor, he told me that that could be a pinched nerve, and sometimes it's the nervous system kind of getting a jolt
Right.
from that. So I don't think it's vertigo, but it's possible it could be.
Okay.
But it hasn't happened. I haven't had any episodes.
Okay. Okay. So it's kind of resolved itself.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Well, good. That's good to hear. Do you wear glasses or contacts?
Mm-mm,
All right. Have you had any vision changes recently? Maybe in the last couple of years?
I have not.
No. All right. So no double vision, blurred vision, none of that sort. All right.
Only after those glasses of wine, usually.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. What about your ears? Any ear infections? Any ringing in the ears? Hearing loss? Okay. Um, do you have frequent colds or like sinus issues, nasal congestion? I know you mentioned allergies earlier, but anything else besides those allergies?
No, I think I'm pretty good on that front.
Good. Okay. I know you mentioned you did mention smoking. Do you have any like bleeding gums, any lesions on your mouth or tongue, or sore throat, dry mouth, anything?
Nope.
Okay. Do you still have your tonsils?
Yep.
Okay. Um, Thinking about your neck, do you have any like enlarged or tender lymph nodes in your neck or anything, or stiffness in your neck?
I don't think I have that in particular. I do have a pain that kind of it's in the left side, top of my shoulder. Um, Again, my chiropractor said that's probably more of a muscle or nerve thing.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
no, I don't think anything major
What's
as
that?
far as that goes.
Okay. What about any breathing issues like shortness of breath or like any coughing?
I mean, I know if I smoke a lot of cigarettes on a week, like a Saturday night,
Yeah,
Sundays, I'll be coughing a little bit in the morning,
of course.
but nothing debilitating.
Of course. Well, whenever we're done, I will discuss some smoking cessation options with you because
Okay,
that is very important. Okay.
sounds good. Sounds
Alrighty.
good.
So cardiac history. Do you ever have any like chest pain or tightness? Feeling like your heart skips a beat or anything?
Not that I can think of.
Good. Okay. Um, any hypertension or anemia that runs in your family that you know of? Okay. I think I asked you about change of appetite earlier. You said you didn't really have a change there. Any change in your bowel habits? Then,
No, seems
okay.
pretty regular.
Have you noticed any blood? Have you thrown up any blood or noticed any blood in your stools at all?
I have not.
Okay. With your urine, have you noticed any like free urgency, frequency, or like pain during urination? Okay, good. What about do you do any self testicular checks?
Periodically, I'm I've done a little bit of research on
Okay,
that, and being older, it's good to check on stuff like
yeah,
that. So,
of course, yeah. I definitely think self checks is
periodically,
good.
I wouldn't say a thorough examination, but
Okay, all right. Well, at least I mean some is better than none,
yeah,
so that's good. That is good. Um, what about? Do you have any coldness, tingling, numbness in your hands, feet, fingers, or anything?
mm-mm.
Good. Alrighty. So I know you mentioned that stiffness in your neck. Is there any other muscular or joint pains that you can think of, or problems with limitation of movement or anything?
None that I can think of. No.
Okay, good. Have you ever had any fainting or seizure-like activity?
Mm-mm.
What about any like? Well, I know you said no to numbness, tingling. Any weakness that you've noticed in your body?
Mm-mm.
Oh, good. Any like memory disorders, hallucinations, mood changes? All good. Okay. Alrighty. Have you ever had a blood transfusion before?
Nope.
Okay. Do you notice that you bleed really easily or bruise really easily or anything?
I don't recall.
Good. All right.
I don't
Cool.
think so.
Do you have any excessive thirst or urination?
Only in the summertime.
Only in the summertime. Well, I feel like if you work outside, that makes
Yeah.
sense to have a little bit of
Yeah.
a good bit of thirst there. What about any heat or cold intolerance? Like anything that you think would be above the norm,
I hate the cold, but again,
right?
I think most people do.
About
So
about normal. Okay,
yeah.
nothing you would consider unusual.
Yep.
Okay, good. Any thyroid diseases or hormone replacement or anything that you've been on? Good. So I think really the last question. Do you have any maybe anxiety, depression, nervousness, mood changes?
No, I think I'm as depressed as everybody else. Being funny, but none that I can remark on. So
Okay, I think that sounds good. Is there anything that you need to ask me at the moment?
I think I'm good. I just kind of want to figure out what this pain is and
Right. Of course.
hopefully get
Well,
that figured out.
yeah. Well, I think we can do that for you.
All
Get
right,
you, figured out and get you feeling better.
good deal.
Okay. Well, it's nice to meet you.
Yes, ma'am. You
Yeah.
too.
Thank you.
All right.